Hello, unlimited friends. Today I want to talk to you about being in your comfort zone. You might have heard it said, feel the fear and do it anyway. Or if you want to be successful, you have to step outside your comfort zone. And I'm going to tell you today that law of attraction is not about stepping outside your comfort zone. Law of attraction is not about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Law of attraction is about increasing your comfort zone, making your comfort zone bigger by excluding your limiting beliefs. It's about if you feel the fear, deal with the beliefs that are creating the fear before you take action. And that's what I'm going to show you how all of that works. And you're going to really enjoy it and you're going to be able to apply it right away. So for those of you who have not visited my channel before, hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com. I am the author of 12 books on the subject of law of attraction. And on this channel, it is my objective to help answer your questions about law of attraction so that you can start applying it with immediate results. All right. So, I want to start with the emotional scale because really, if you really want to understand law of attraction, you've got to understand the emotional scale and how it works. So, generally speaking, the emotional scale just lines up how we feel from love, which is the highest, best form of emotion, all the way down to despair, which is disempowering. In between over here, we have worry. I don't use labels as much as I use numbers. I like to do a gut check for myself and say, how am I feeling? Do I feel like a 10? Do I feel like a 7? Do I feel like a 2? Right? I find it easier not to use labels for my emotions and just give it a number. All right, so when you feel fear, where do you think you are over here? Are you feeling like a 10? Because a 10 feels like, what does a 10 feel like? It's about understanding that. 10 feels like I'm on top of the world. My life is fantastic. Nothing scares me. That's a 10. So if you're feeling fear, you're not over here. In fact, you're nowhere over here. You're below the 5 in this realm over here, closer to the bottom. That's where you are when you feel fear. Now, the important thing to understand about this is that if you're feeling fear and you take action from this place, so if you take action from this place, that action is based on the vibration of fear. So this is acting as your magnet and pulling things to you. But it only has the power to pull things from here that correspond and are on the same wavelength as fear. But the things that you want, that you think will make you happy, they're not down here at a level of fear. They're up over here. Those are things that make your heart sing. And when your heart is singing, you're feeling like a 10. So the things that you want are up here. And if you're over here and you take action, you will attract this stuff, which is not going to go well. It's not going to feel good. So what we need to do is we need to deal with this fear. We need to deal with the fear so that it no longer stands in our way. And once we deal with the fear, now we can rise up to this level. And then when we act from here, we attract this outcome. So, you know how people say, feel the fear and do it anyway? They don't feel the fear and do it and then find success. A lot of times when you feel the fear and do it anyway, things don't go well. Imagine someone, I remember this story about someone who was into horses, and one day they were afraid of being on this one particular horse. So it was said to them, feel the fear and do it anyway. But they fell from the horse and were pretty badly hurt. So when you feel the fear, you attract things that don't turn out well. If you want to turn it around, you first have to give up the fear. So that person should have, before getting on the horse, should have said things like, I'm an expert horse rider. I know how to control horses. I've done this millions of times before. It's going to be okay. I'm just going to enjoy this. We're going to have fun. I'm going to connect with this animal. This animal is a beautiful horse. It's going to feel my energy, and we're going to do this together. Then the result is that you no longer feel fear, because fear is the opposite of confidence. When you say things like that, you are instilling confidence in yourself, and you go up the emotional scale, so there's no fear anymore. So you can get the result that you want. So now I'm going to explain to you how comfort zones work. The thing to understand about comfort zones is that if you are afraid of things, then your comfort zone might be a small one. Anything that's outside of this circle, you're not comfortable with. And that's because you have all these beliefs that say, oh, if I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. So there are lots of beliefs, and these beliefs they actually form the wall of this circle. And if you can imagine it being like a ball, then all these negative beliefs are sticking out, almost making it into like a porcupine kind of a thing, and you can't get out because the beliefs keep you in. So for example, if you have a belief that people can't be trusted, you can't trust everyone, well, that's a negative belief. It is going to keep you confined in this circle because you are not going to enjoy interacting with a lot of people. You're going to be really picky about who you interact with. Because of what? Because of fear. Fear holds us back. See, the thing to understand is, even if there is someone out there who has done gazillions of bad things, as we measure them from the point of view of society, but if you're high up on the emotional scale, that person does not have any power over you unless you think that they do. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you go somewhere and you stop this person and you ask them for help. You don't know that this person has done so many criminal acts in their past. You're high flying, you're having a fantastic day, and maybe you ask them for directions. And they will happily give you the correct directions. However, if you are fearful and you stop and you ask the same person for directions, now you're on a different wavelength, and they will meet you on that wavelength. And if they're not on that wavelength, you won't bump into them. That's the key, you see. You have to understand that whatever is coming to you, you are the magnet that is attracting all of these things. So you've got to cut out the magnetic power in order for those bad things not to come to you, those people not to come into your life. It's not their fault, and it's not your fault either. But what it is it's lack of attention to the way you are vibrating. That's all. It's unawareness of vibration. So comment below, I am becoming more aware of my control. I am becoming more aware. Comment below, I am becoming more aware, because you are. The more you listen to videos like this, the more you listen to people who actually do know law of attraction, you will learn law of attraction. You will learn how to apply it properly, and your life will change completely. I guarantee it. All right? So, when you want to, so let's go back here. So, our fears keep us confined. In order for us, so what happens is, if we want to break out of this circle, we need to increase our comfort zone, make our comfort zone bigger. We don't have to jump out of our comfort zone, because that never goes well, because we haven't dealt with the beliefs. What we need to do is to increase our comfort zone so that we feel comfortable with those things that we were not comfortable with before. And that happens by taking these beliefs and squashing them. You don't have to go looking for them in order to do so, but when a negative belief comes up, you've got to deal with it by giving yourself evidence that the contrary is possible. For example, if you have that belief that we were talking about before, that we can't trust people, but then you can remind yourself how you've met strangers and become really good friends with them in the past. How strangers, people that you never knew before, have helped you in the past. Has that happened to you? If it has, then you can use that as evidence to squash some of these negative beliefs. The key is, whatever evidence you use and whatever self-talk you use in order to convince yourself that your beliefs were bogus and you don't subscribe to them anymore, whatever self-talk you think, that self-talk has to be 100% true. You cannot lie and increase this comfort zone. You cannot step out of your comfort zone by telling yourself lies. I'll give you an example. It has to be important enough for you to change that belief. So you overcome the belief, because the result of overcoming the belief is something that you really, really want. And that is really, really true. So let me give you a sales-based example. Let's say that you're someone who is in a sales role, and you earn money by making sales. So you work on commissions. If you don't sell stuff, then you're not going to make money. But you're shy of approaching strangers in order to talk to them about your opportunity. You don't like doing that because you don't trust strangers, because when you were little, your parents taught you not to talk to strangers because strangers could be dangerous. So now you've got this fear inside you, deep inside the recesses of your mind. You don't like talking to strangers. But now your livelihood depends on it, because you're in a profession that requires you to do so. So you have to shift that belief around. You have to start saying to yourself, it's okay. It's not hard to talk to people. I can trust people. Not everyone is out to get me. I'm much older now. When I was little, my parents were concerned about my safety. But I'm much older now. I am discerning. I know what I'm doing. Besides, the rewards of talking to strangers are huge, and I want those rewards. So I am willing to put myself out there and start talking to people that I've never spoken to before. So you see, that kind of self-talk deals with that negative belief. So ask yourself this question. If there's something that I want to do, or a persona that I want to be, or something that I want to achieve, what is keeping me from it? And whatever that answer is the negative belief that's keeping you from it. And now you have a choice. You can choose to be happy inside your limited comfort zone and live with the belief that you have. Don't change it because you feel too vulnerable changing it. So then don't do it. because if you did that, you would be lying. Because if you feel vulnerable, that means you don't feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, you're feeling fear. Where is fear on the emotional scale? It's pretty low down, isn't it? So when you are saying things that are 100% true, you go up the emotional scale. It feels good to tell the truth, and it feels bad to lie to yourself. It feels good to tell yourself something that is true that you can believe in, right? And that is why it's so important to tell the truth. But things can be true for one person and not be true. The same thing can be untrue for another person. I'll give you an example. I could say that I love this person. I'll call her Ruby. I love Ruby. I love her. She is an amazing, beautiful person. And this other person might say, that's not true. She's awful. She's I don't know, she's irritable or whatever. That is the truth for that person and not the truth for me. So if this person needed to work with Ruby, they have to change how they see Ruby. And they can start saying things like, well, maybe she was rude to me, but maybe that was just a one-off thing that happened. Right? Now you can believe that that's true. You can say things like, maybe she's having a really hard time in her personal life. Maybe there's things going on with her that I'm not privy to. I'm sure she's a really nice person because other people seem to like her. So I am willing to give her a chance. And that's the key. I'm willing to give it a chance. And you can do that with everything. Everything that is keeping you confined in this small comfort zone, you can say that you're willing to give other new experiences, people, and things a chance. Now, that can be true if you really are willing. So, you cannot feel the fear and do it. You have to deal with the fear. People get rid of fears very quickly when the outcome that they want is really, really important. So, you know how people quit smoking overnight? The outcome of good health becomes really important to them. So they are able to quit. Between the two options, quitting is easy. See? People who are able to get rid of their shyness and start making sales overnight, those sales are so important that the shyness is not important enough anymore. So they have to get out of that comfort zone. But what they've done in order to do so is that they have dealt with that negative belief. And so when we use the law of attraction, what it means is to increase the size of your comfort zone. What it means is to deal with the fears that are getting in the way. Free yourself from all of that. Rise up the emotional scale. And then all sorts of wonderful opportunities, possibilities open up. All right, folks, I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you got value that you can apply to your life right away. And if so, leave me a comment to let me know. And please do click on that like button and come back for more. So remember to subscribe. Bye for now.